and one for the intelligent as fellas get. Listen, let's settle this. Be clear, I could fall back 7 years, still it ain't no one ahead of me. Consider it a blessing if you get to stand next to me. 5-star general, OG veteran, cake like.
Today is April 9th, right? It's the 9th today? Right, babe? Right, babe? 2000 and, I want to say 2013. Why the hell am I going 2013? I'm retarded. And we're going to head out. It's the first weekend that Erin's had off in like a month. She's been working like, she's been around. When's the last time you had a weekend off?
It's only been a couple weeks.
So it's been literally 3 weeks since you had
like a month.
It's 3 weeks, which are around 3 weeks up to a month. So, look, it's been like a year since you've had a weekend off. Whatever. She's been working because she has to. Somebody's got to keep the lights on.
Somebody's got to keep the lights on.
Somebody's got to keep me fed. Keep the lights on.
Which I'm surprised that's why I have to pull all the overtime.
Is it overtime? It's 7.5 or something like that.
Oh, it's overtime.
So we're actually going to go for the first time in a long time to the chiropractor and get adjusted. Erin's got like this nerve problem that goes on with her leg, and I just haven't. It's been a year. It's literally been a year, babe.
Yeah, me too.
Remember, it was like right after.
It was leading up to last
Yeah,
year's show.
it was leading up to the show.
Struggling.
What the hell do I do? AE lock. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. All right, let's just get out here. On our way. Hey, here we are at David Cap's place. It's been literally like a year since I've seen him.
I had no idea.
It's because I'm the greatest.
No, seriously, like there's no other place we go. We'll drive 2 hours to come here. That's the way it
And
is.
it's snowing outside.
And it's snowing outside.
In April.
In April. So Caps, when people hear chiropractic sometimes, they kind of freak out. There's like a stigma. And I know that when I first came in, I was kind of skeptical, but you fixed me and every single person I've ever sent here. And everybody keeps coming back. Like, they don't go other places. So why do you think there's like a stigma about chiropractic care?
It's kind of a hard question to ask because I think a lot of it comes down to practitioner.
So there's ones out there that just aren't very good, or?
Could be.
Yeah.
Different
I mean,
places, too.
Everybody's heard of a good lawyer and a bad lawyer.
Right.
But, and if anyone ever mentions, oh, you're an attorney, it's always that same type of
Yeah,
reaction.
true.
And you don't really want an attorney until you need one. For me, when I was in school, I spent a lot of time learning how to adjust well and making sure I knew how to do that. And I just added all the soft tissue work to the knowledge of knowing how to adjust. And I think by addressing soft tissue and hard tissue at the same time, I do think that you get a better result. Especially, you know, well, I do soft tissue probably to everybody that comes in here, but if you get more of the active population, people working out all the time, athletes, people who don't want to stop, let's say, running because they go to the traditional doctor and they say, you don't run anymore.
Right.
The soft tissue really changes. It changes what's going on, changes the symptoms, changes the structure.
There literally hasn't been one person that came to you that hasn't been fixed. Do you remember Vince's wife, Sarah? Sarah Roa?
I do remember her.
Literally had pain since she was like 14 years old, and she was just like, I'm gonna have to have these surgeries, and I'm like, just go see Caps.
And one thing with her, that was mostly just adjusting. That wasn't that much soft tissue stuff.
So it was like, she got adjusted and came back, she's like, I can't believe for the first time in my life, I'm pain-free.
I had a woman that walked in the other day, and she had been seeing another chiropractor for a long time for her lower back, but the guy never addressed her lower back. I don't get that one.
My lower back hurts. Let me adjust your wrist.
Yeah, so on your side facing this way. So I don't get that one. But you know, I mean, I don't. I can't answer why some people practice that way or whatever.
Do you think most things that people have ailment-wise that are nerve pain, stuff like that, can be fixed with chiropractic care?
Depends on the severity of it, but sure. And it also depends on where that nerve is having pressure on it. If it's from a disc, you can still work with a disc, even if it's herniated. You can work with a vertebra.
Right.
If there's let's say a fusion in there, no, you can't work with a fusion, but you can work with other areas to try to take pressure off of that fusion.
What he's doing right now actually is the active release. It's the releasing of the muscle so that he can make the adjustment, and the adjustment holds. Which I think is what really makes the difference between coming here and other places, is he releases the muscle that's pulling the adjustment out. So when it's adjusted, it stays.
I mean, it's partly that, but also, if her main complaint is that she's having nerve pain from this left side coming down her leg, you know the sciatic nerve comes down through here, and you've got a bunch of different muscles that nerve has to go through. So you go to a couple main ones. So her piriformis under here is a main one.
Right.
If that thing is really clamped down,
Yeah, which it is.
every time that she's going to contract her glutes, it's going to put pressure on that
Push on it.
nerve.
Is that hurt, huh?
You think?
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot like having like a knife stuck in your glute, but it's so
Sounds good.
necessary.
Yeah, I know. I get stabbed. You know, you're not gonna get David any new clients. But it hurts so bad. I feel like I'm dying.
But you don't understand. When I walk out, nothing hurts at all.
Yeah, I
I
know.
do. I mean,
All of
look
the
at
pain.
anything. If you're going in and you want to get stronger working out, and you're doing sets, and it's getting harder and harder and harder,
Right.
it doesn't make it fun.
Right.
Afterwards, you go, holy shit, I can lift a lot more than I did before.
Yeah.
That's when that's the result of it.
So get through the pain barrier.
You know, the other thing that goes against us, especially in this area, is that in most industry, people are seated at a desk all day
Right.
or on a laptop. So that really that'll stress the lower back because your hip flexors get tight, and then head comes forward, neck goes forward, pulls on the shoulders. So her hip flexor actually isn't bad. Her glute is worse than her hip flexor.
Because I stand all day, and I don't sit.
Look at that.
I don't sit at all. I never sit. What's next?
This adjustment is for the hip.
That's her L5.
L5. Lower back. Crack.
The other side
And it
was
feels
much
like
more
really good,
gratifying.
right?
Did that move? Did it move?
If it did, it was slightly. The other
Yeah.
side moved so much.
Yeah.
It was just like I felt the other side in probably 4 places at least.
Well, that joint is about that big, so there's a lot of air that can come out of that joint.
Yeah.
I've seen this one. See, it's different.
That's better. Move.
There you go.
So you feel better?
Thank you. You have no idea. So you're not even moving?
No, like from
Yeah, so what I always tell everyone. So I've got my thumbs on his SI joints. So SI stands for sacrum, and this part of the pelvis is called the ilium. So where they articulate, it's called sacroiliac joint. And if I have him rotate this way,
Oh, that's it.
my left thumb is supposed to go down and in. It's actually shooting out and away, which means it's not rotating. Roxanne, rotate this way. See how my right thumb goes down and in?
Do you
Like
move?
this one, I can actually rotate and
You
look
move.
this way. I couldn't.
All right.
Like there's no pain. It just won't go. Actually feels weak. Like the muscles won't pull.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll loosen this up a little bit, and then we'll adjust that, and then we'll reassess.
Cool.
You can, after, on your side face now. I didn't realize that. And notice he's much bigger than me. Not as
Yeah.
big as you used to
Caps
be.
used to adjust me when I was like 260. He used to like stand on the chair and jump off the chair.
But you got the moves, man.
I remember that when you first came in. I remember working on your shoulder and your lap. It's just
Super
that big.
tight, yeah.
Having to get in there. Flat.
Oh.
There you go.
That
So
didn't
now
hurt.
let's see what it looks like. Come on back.
You
You
win.
can actually feel it like going through my back and my hip. Like everything's cracking. I'm walking, things are cracking.
I know.
So we're gonna see what his left hip is doing this time. So you
Oh
see
my
that
God, you
difference?
moved. Look at you
And you
move.
see, if you look back
Yeah.
at the other one, you probably see how his shoulder, he probably went to there.
Yeah, that's it.
So now, I'm gonna go this way a little bit. Alright, so you see
Nice.
how that's gonna
The
Yeah.
muscles don't feel. They felt weak, to be honest with you, before I was moving.
Well, if something is not moving the way it's supposed to move, it is going to fatigue, and that could be that weakness you're feeling. Plus, also, if a joint isn't moving as it's supposed to, it's going to swell a little bit. If it swells a little bit, that muscle is also going to try to clamp down around it to try to protect it.
Just kind of fatigued by clamping
Yeah,
down.
and what do we do? Well, I gotta go work out. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that.
Right.
So then, just tightens the screw even further, and weakens the tissue even more. But then, the cool thing is that if you take away the stimulus, which would be it not moving like it's supposed to, then that swelling will start to dissipate. That muscle will start to relax a little bit. Then you get in there with some stretching. Get in there with a little cross ball. Dig in there, and that should all come back pretty quickly.
Cool. Should do it like a couple times a week or do it daily for a little while? Or?
the lacrosse ball
Yeah.
or something like this, I would, you know, if you can handle it daily, I do it daily.
Yeah, I can do it daily.
Yeah, if you try to get on it, let's say on Monday,
Yeah.
and then on Tuesday you go in there, you work it again, and it's so sore, then skip that day,
Okay.
and then just do it the next day. But you should be able to do it a little bit each day.
Cool.
All right. Lie on your back.
My favorite one is the neck.
Oh, the
Love
neck
having
feels
my neck.
amazing.
It sounds like your head's falling off, but
I know, I don't care. It feels so good.
I was telling Erin, tell her who your first adjustment was. And I was like, who would you adjust first on the neck? You're like, oh, my wife was my first adjustment. I just grabbed her by the head.
I'm grabbing her. I mean, we've done a bunch of stuff, but I swear I was like this. Because you're learning it, but it's just like anything. Unless you actually do it, you can set up 1,000 times, but until you do it. See, I'm going to his shoulders because he has a long history of having shoulder problems.
Does that hurt, babe?
It's like a thumb in your armpit.
I know
The
that.
most strange pain you
It's
ever
like
Not
a thumb
the
in your
thumb
glute?
armpit. It's a thumb in your armpit.
It is a thumb in your armpit.
So what I'm doing is getting on the subscat and a little bit of his lat. So, especially with lifters, if you do anything overhead, let's just stay with only lifting. Let's say you got a jerk. If you don't have mobility for the shoulder, are you going to catch that jerk? Or are you going to jerk it straight up? Or are you going to have it out in front of you a little bit? Probably out in front of you a little bit if you can't get into that position. So what happens if you got a big weight out in front of you like that?
It's going to put pressure on everything.
It's gonna
Fucking
tear
delts
something
and
up.
back or rotator cuffs.
So a lot of what I try to do with shoulder injuries is make sure that we get the range of motion back in there. And I'm not talking shoulder injuries as in like torn stuff. Can't really do much for that, but you can help in the rehab process. Again, most people, especially in the area, they've been sitting at a computer all day, which is all like this, and now they're going to try to go and do something where they're like this.
So the muscles that are all tight, they're going to try to stretch them out. This one's actually even worse.
So you can see that that's about all he has right now, so we're just going to work that and see if we can get it further. And this is all lat right here.
Let's feel the triceps stretch too.
This music is very
80s.
It is making a weird backdrop.
It's like we're filming something in
Yeah,
here.
I don't
And now
like
for
the like the
our
casting
encore.
like the casting couch. I don't know what's going
Watch for the couch over there.
on. I know it's so wrong.
No wonder why Cap's closed so many days out of the week.
Oh,
Friday's off.
Hey, I work with my wife. Don't go off what this guy says.
best marriage ever. It looks like you're moving farther, babe.
Yeah, it's definitely like the range of motion I feel it is.
All right, so the next few are going to be tough on him.
Great. Oh!
Breathe. Look at that face. Breathe.
All right,
Why is the armpit so painful? I don't understand.
but do you see how we got him all the way there?
All the way back.
Why is the armpit such a painful place? I don't understand.
All right, he wants me to adjust his neck.
Let's watch Jerry get his neck broken.
My stupid traps are always pulling.
You're gonna.
Wait, you hear this? Pop.
I'm gonna go a little lower on the opposite side.
Oh.
It's not quite that far back.